This is the video you have been waiting for, Venture Club's step-by-step guide.
We'll go over some of the details you'll need to know to run a Venture Club. This video, along with our website, will help you to have a successful club.
It is important though that first you watch the overview video along with the church or outreach video, depending on which type of club you want to do, before watching this video.
So let's get started.
Every club has the same basic format. On the website under the Resource Center, there's a Jumpstart section you can review along with this video.
The website has other resources such as the scope and sequence, teacher's notes, handbook key, games, and more.
As we said before, you can use everything, or your church can pick what they want to use. The number of young people and their ages will be the main consideration when deciding how many classes and which level handbooks you will use in church clubs. Outreach clubs can break out into various levels, but often they just have one or two groups because of the limitation of space and the number of volunteers.
Like, we typically only use our Explorer materials in after-school clubs.
After you pick the type of club and which materials you'll use, it's time to decide on the length of your club and how many volunteers you need.
Our sample club is 75 minutes long, but you can expand or shorten in the time by adjusting the amount of time that you spend on a game. Some churches even add dinner to lengthen their club.
Volunteers are a very important part of a venture club. Every club needs a leader. This coordinator makes sure everything runs smoothly. Then you need at least one teacher for every group, and you will want to have one volunteer for every 4 to 6 children. These volunteers will all be small group leaders, and they usually take on a second role, such as substitute teacher, music, or game leader.
We've already covered a lot of information in this video. Next, we'll cover the flow and parts of a club.
There are 5 parts to each club.
The first part begins a few minutes before the club starts and the first 5 minutes of the club. This is called compass time. It's often while the kids are still checking in. Leaders should try to connect with the kids, ask the kids open-ended questions, and have them recite their memory verse from the previous week.
Next, the children will gather together for our large group teaching called Treasure Time. It typically lasts about 25 minutes and begins with a high-energy short game or skit followed by 2 to 3 songs. Then we review club rules. Next comes the teaching. We'll review last week's lesson, learn our new one verse and one truth, and other Bible stories to really help the kids understand this lesson. Let the kids interact during this time by asking and answering questions too.
Now it's time to break up into small group discovery time for about 25 minutes. Each volunteer meets with a small group of kids to mentor, pour biblical truth into their lives, pray together, and go over the handbooks together. This dialogue between the students and the leaders gives each young person the opportunity to ask important questions and to restate what they learned in their own words.
The kids always love game time. You can choose from a large group game from our Venture Club's website or any group game that will fit in your location. This time can take place at the beginning or at the end of club. It can be group games, snacks, craft, or a combination. The time frame usually lasts 15 minutes if you're running a 75-minute club.
Lastly, spend about 5 minutes during the end of class for awards and to make announcements. Awards can be certificates found on our website or in the back of the handbooks for the students finishing their books. There's participation, memory verse, and bringing a friend prizes. You can use little stickers or the little treasure box toys.
And kids love these little prizes, so make sure that you have someone to fill that box with a wide variety of little gifts.
I love it when everything runs smoothly, everyone's happy and well behaved.
That is an ideal day, but most days are a little less perfect.
I know. That's why we're going to talk about some of the things that challenge all of us.
First, we need volunteers to make a club run well. Now, we do understand that people get sick, they go on vacation, they have appointments, so it's important to recruit volunteers that you train to fill every position and stress the importance of your volunteers coming to club. But if they can't, they need to give you enough time to fill that role.
You might have some clubs that still have less volunteers than you would like. That's when you need to remember that you can do all things with God's grace. And you should gather your team together to pray.
Prayer has to be a key role of your club, so invite your volunteers in early so that you guys can pray together.
I love the kids, but sometimes I've needed to pray to figure out how to deal with them. Let's talk a little bit about discipline.
Make sure that you review your club rules before the class starts. And let the kids know that they won't be getting any prizes if their name ends up on the board for breaking those rules.
What do you do if they all get a little rowdy?
I find that clapping works. Say this: clap once if you can hear me. Clap twice if you can hear me. And I find that this usually works and is often enough.
What do you do if a child misbehaves every week?
So first, we want to place these kids in a small group with a leader that really connects with them. But that's not always enough. And we can't allow an unruly child to distract our whole club. So we have the 3-strike rule 2 ways. The first time the student misbehaves, they're reminded of the rules that they're breaking. The second time, their name gets put on the board. And the third time, we do contact the student's parents to let them know about the behavior. If this is repeated and the parents are contacted 3 times, the student will be suspended from the club.
You need to make sure that your coordinator is someone who can deal with problems, as they will be the person contacting volunteers if they are continuously absent and contacting the parents of children who have misbehaved.
Venture Clubs is a fun, age-appropriate, Christ-centered, disciple-making group that your church is going to love. Whether you decide to do it in your church or out in your community, these kids love coming to club each week. And it's been our experience that they come back week to week because they want to know more about God.
And we get to see these children blossom in their relationship with Jesus, and you will too.
Listen, starting a club always takes work. However, the rewards are huge when it comes to families, children, and the church.
Thank you for beginning this adventure. Please contact us with any questions you may have. We are always available to help you.